Please note, the PTE exam material we provide in our YouTube channel is 99.9% repeated in the real PTE exam. It is advised you to practice the weekly as well as monthly prediction videos, according to your exam date, from our channel to get the same material in your exam. Wish you best of luck. Ready to start. 3, 2, 1.
So the topic for today is abstraction. And this is a very important layer of computer because you can't do anything with a computer unless you have a symbolic system in place. Right. So we're talking about the origin of symbolic systems. Language is a classic symbolic system. Apparently one theory for why language evolved is that people communicated with sign language and with movement quite well for a long time. And it turned out that they wanted to communicate even while they were doing things. So, while they were trying to strangle the dinosaur, not the dinosaurs, the rhinoceros, they wanted to say, "Come help me," and they use sign language to do it. They had to let go of the rhinoceros and the rhinoceros ran away. So you can see that it's a good idea to be able to do something with your hands and be able to communicate at the same time. Hence there come words and language.
Well, the 90s came around and finally it clicked that normal people could get online, which hadn't really clicked before, and the little trick that finally put it together was Tim Berners-Lee HTML, so thank you to the UK for providing the fellow who finally put the missing link in place. And then what happened in the 90s was this extraordinary outpouring of creativity and constructiveness from millions and millions of people. There were millions of people making web pages, creating content online, creating social experiments, creating lessons, all sorts of things, and the first decade of the web took place without much of a profit motive, without any particular charismatic figures driving it, without fear, without a desire for an afterlife or any other religious gambits, without advertising, without any of the traditional motivational schemes. It simply happened because people enjoyed it and it was a good idea.
Well, it's like, why isn't Australian housing so expensive? Essentially, it's showing how well the Australian economy has been doing over the last 15 years. We have had 15 years, more or less, of an uninterrupted economic growth, during which average earning has been raised by close to 90%. Well, over the course of that period, the standard variable mortgage rate has roughly halved. That meant the amount which a typical home-buying household can afford to borrow under rules which aren't strictly applied as they used to be. Over the same period, rising immigration and falling average household size has meant the number of households looking for accommodation has risen by about 1.5 million. That's around 200,000 more than the number of dwellings has increased by. So you've had a substantial increase in the purchasing power of households. No net increase in the supply of housing, and hence all the additional purchasing power has gone into pushing up the price of housing. But what are the dangers of keeping these drugs at home? There are a number of dangers. Parents should know that leftover drugs are dangerous because they may be accidentally ingested by children. Either adults don't keep the bottles properly closed and stored, or because even many kids can sometimes open child-proof lids. Patients may use the drugs after their expiration date. The leftover drugs may be taken for the wrong reasons. For example, someone may have a viral infection and self-prescribe to leftover into microbial that was prescribed for a bacterial infection, but that drug will have no effect as the viral infections. Drugs that are left over might be given to or taken by someone else who may have had a serious allergy to the medicine and who for that reason would not be prescribed to medicine under the supervision of a physician. Finally, inappropriate use of drugs promotes drug resistance if the drug is taken for the wrong indication, the wrong duration, or the wrong dosage. Todd, what can people do about this? How can the situation be improved? I think physicians, patients, and parents of patients can take steps to improve the situation. First of all, physicians should prescribe the drug only when appropriate, only in the correct amount, and only for the correct duration. Also, the physician must stress to the patient that the full course of the drug must be taken. This is recommended even if symptoms are resolved before the end of the prescription, and parents of children on antibiotics need to ensure they complete their course as well.
So various conclusions. Yes, bees are in decline. These declines are well documented. They are real and supported by good, strong scientific evidence, which is the only of these counts. The drivers of decline on many varied depending on species. The effects of pollinator loss could be absolutely huge. So is it a catastrophe? Not yet. But it could be. On the positive side, we are aware of the problem. Awareness is being raised all the time and people are taking actions. Before fixing is missing, you can recognize the problem. At least it's been done.
Subscribe our channel to get weekly and monthly PTA exam predictions, according to your exam date. Please like, comment and share this video. Your appreciation is biggest motivation for us. See you in next video.